What's next, GM?
Hold on a sec. It's the computer got a little wonky there. And of course that didn't work. That's alright. Alright, you trek south. And you find yourselves in a new place. A bit of a clearing that opens up. The corruption is growing stronger, and you can really feel that you're getting towards the heart of the matter, as it were. Alright, I guess this is basically Rasheen's place. We're still near the heirs' camp. This is where the heirs' camp have been hanging out. You've hunted this land. Alright, okay, so you're having more and more trouble as you walk through here. It's almost as if the corruption is becoming tangible. You start to see some of the trees and some of the underbrush and some of the ground is starting to lose its color, to go into a pale shade. It's starting to become a little bit granular. You know, as you brush past a leaf, the leaf crumbles into that same corrupt-looking sand that you've seen before. So the corruption is definitely strong here.
The art team didn't have enough budget to buy colors.
Yeah, they ran out of budget. We're in diebuster territory now. So this place used to belong to the humans. You know, all of this area used to belong to the humans and the halflings, but this is more human territory. So Rasheen, what was special about this clearing? What was important about it? This place used to mean something. What did it mean?
Yes. In ancient times, during when Rasheen's kingdom was larger and more robust, this was considered to be one of the foremost parts of their lands, and this point was actually a bulwark against of their borders against the wilderness, so to speak. And so these ruins were actually once a great tower that marked it was a guardhouse essentially. So people would guards would be posted at the top and look for and be on alert for oncoming armies or threats that might threaten the kingdom.
Okay. It was a proud guard tower that protected the kingdom. But it is no more. The ancient tower that stood for so long has crumbled and is continuing to crumble. You can even hear it starting to crumble now. Something in here was beautiful and important to the human people. And you can see where there used to be the barrows here, where the kings of old were buried. Once their watch had ended over their people, they were brought here and buried because it was believed that their spirits would continue to watch the borders long past their death. But those barrows have erupted open. And they are, as far as you can tell, empty. Just dark holes in the ground. Somehow the remains of past kings have been corrupted, have been defiled. So, you know, like your dad and your grandpa and all that.
Yeah. Yes, this place is steeped in history.
No more, though.
So whether you want to share that with your fellowship is up to you.
Yeah. Rasheen will explain that his forebears are buried here, and they tread on sacred ground, and that the corruption has tainted this place fills him with a righteous passion and anger.
Very upsetting. Let me just add some of these in here.
These must have been who we were fighting.
Oh no.
All right. So you see those open graves. You can feel the corruption. The colors draining from the area around you. You can hear things collapsing as you speak. Now, obviously, Rasheen, you know the path here, but you can see that the area next to those barrows, the path leading down to the tower, is just completely corrupted. It's collapsed. It's corrosive. It looks like the ground itself is unstable. It's undulating as if it were filled with a million maggots.
Yikes.
Gross.
You all need to get past this, though. The path has somehow been sealed. You can't quite see all the way to the old tower. There's the air has become quite hazy. You can't see more than about 10 feet ahead of you. The ground is unsafe. Even the trees appear to be threatening to collapse on you at any moment. But you all need to get past here somehow.
What can we possibly do to surpass this vile barrier?
Let me think about that.
Is it a barrier, or is it just the ground that we would have trouble getting over?
Well, the ground is definitely I think the main problem, but also everything around here is just corrupted and oozing with negative energy, you might say.
Yeah, I mean the air itself is fighting you.
Well, why don't we look
The very air
closely
you breathe is poison, you might say.
and find out if there's, a less corrupt area we can pass by, at least to make some forward progress. I think I will look closely.
Okay.
That is, sense. Ooh, my sense damage. Oh no. That means I'm rolling in despair, right?
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, well that's okay.
Yeah. So you got a 7.
Yeah.
That's fine. So you're gonna ask me 2 questions.
Yeah, is there something hidden or out of place in this corrupted area that's like, hey, maybe you should go this way, because there's this little knoll that's maybe happy and not so bad. If there is, what looks suspicious about it?
I mean, it looks super corrupt. There's that.
Okay.
The ground looks suspicious because it shouldn't be moving like that. The ground doesn't normally do that. Trees don't look safe. The air is full of some kind of particle that makes it hard to see and hard to move, maybe even hard to breathe. Yeah, I mean, it's bad news all around. The only stuff out of place are the open graves, because there's supposed to be skeletons in there, but they're gone somewhere.
That question was listed as one, so tell me
Yeah.
about the corruption. How could it hurt me? How could it help me?
Well, you've seen the ways that the corruption tends to affect people. You know, it'll gradually take over your body and mind and turn you into a thrall of the Overlord. Sicken you.
It's fine.
Yeah, it'll corrupt everything about you and take away yourself. It will replace it with the Overlord's will. As to how it could help you, I mean, if you could find some way to disrupt the connection between the Overlord and the corruption here momentarily, maybe you could reverse the polarity, and then make it work for you
so
somehow.
What we do is we stab Caesar 22 times.
and turn him into a reflector dish.
Yes. We fashion him into a satellite dish, and we watch Stay Tuned, starring John Ritter. I don't think I'll be able to talk sense to the corruption. It being an entity that is not a thing that has sentience to reason with.
No, but I mean, if you feel you might have an advantage from what you've learned, you could try to finish them on the nearby corruption using wisdom or something.
Suppose I could try that. I could. I have nothing. You wizards got nothing, guys.
Okay.
I'm all out of ideas.
Hold on, I'm thinking thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, think those thoughts.
Caesar can start to feel that other presence moving closer and closer again.
We may wish to hurry.
Oh, Caesar, you're mega corrupted. What? Maybe you could start drawing it into you more. You know.
Just make him a sponge? Jeez.
Yeah, like, knowing what we know about Caesar, which might not be much, I don't know. If he can pull the corruption into him, he might be able to sacrifice himself, in air quotes, for the good of us, and then have a Spock moment when he's totally fine the next day.
I could do this, but my body will perish, and I am uncertain as to the effects on my soul.
That's a good point.
I do not mind the passage of my body. If it will aid the fellowship, I will give it.
It seems I have misjudged you all along, Caesar.
It's just one idea. I'm just brainstorming.
No, let him sacrifice himself. This is a good moment now.
Rasheen kicking him in the back.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, God, let me look at my inventory here. Wisdom. Oh, God.
You've got your followers too. You could try and
Right.
sacrifice
I forgot
them.
those puppets have just been in the background the entire time.
Yeah, and
playing their Game Boys.
And you guys all have some followers, I think. You could just make like a trail of a corpse bridge to go over there, you know.
Well, if there's no other ideas forthcoming, Caesar will, in fact, do this thing.
You're a brave man, Caesar.
Although, in doing so, he will probably kill himself. Just temporarily.
But then he'll come back as a new, stronger Caesar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, possibly slightly rotted, but...
We'll come back as a new equal Caesar.
It'll be like when Kate Sith dies the first time in the Temple of the Ancients.
Spoilers, Mike. Jesus.
Sorry.
All right, so is this what's happening?
That seems to be the idea that has presented itself.
Okay.
All right. Let's do this. Let's try to absorb all this taint.
All right.
Get that taint up in you. Work that taint.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess you should attempt to overcome the taint, as it's attempting to, as you walk closer and deeper into it, it attempts to overtake your entire body and self. You can feel your corrupted blood singing an unsettling harmony with the world around you. So can you overcome it for long enough?
Let's find out.
Oh man, you've been rolling really bad. I'm sorry, Steve. Well,
All right. So, you can pay a price, or you can create a temporary solution. I mean, you're already basically saying that you want to be taken out to create a path for the people, right?
Uh-huh.
All right.
So I would say that, I mean, what am I going to have to do to actually get rid of the taint? Is that going to be finish them?
You can't get rid of the taint. The source of the taint is not there yet.
Right. I mean, to create the path, I should say.
Well, I guess you can say you'd be taken out, and that will create a path for them.
All right, then let's do that.
Okay. Tell us how that happens.
So Caesar pretty much plunges into this taint, as it is indeed a physical force almost. The air about him rippling with dark waves as he makes his way down the path. And while his hands are together sort of in a gesture of prayer, his steps grow slower and slower as he makes his way down to the tower. And as he does, the colorlessness that is prevalent in this area sort of leaches into him. His red cap is now just black. His skin is even paler. And eventually he gets to, like, probably somewhere in the middle, like about here-ish, and stops. But as he does that, the colorlessness of the surrounding area sort of goes away, and the color kind of leaches back a little bit. Not a lot. It's still going to be there, of course, but Caesar stops moving entirely, his form almost entirely monochrome, and he just kind of goes utterly still and unresponsive as he focuses entirely on taking all of the taint in the area around him into himself and allowing the others to pass.
Okay. Can the Fellowship save you from your fate?
A good question.
And if so, how could they do it? How can they ensure that you're not gone for good?
I do have one use left of that healing. That healing that we did on the halflings. That's why I didn't use it on our buds. I could maybe save them after we're done with our business.
Okay. You think that would work, Caesar?
It does sound likely, at least.
All right. So, the path has been cleared for you by the heroic sacrifice of Caesar the Orc.
Oh man, he Boromired himself so we wouldn't have to.
What will the rest of you do? The path is open. You can see the tower in the distance.
Should probably head to the tower.
Yeah, seems like a good idea. We
Sounds good to
brave for.
Yep.
Perhaps after a brief moment to pause and honor the sacrifice of Caesar.
No, there's no time.
Okay, you're right. Let's go.
We trot over his filthy remains towards the tower.
All right. So you can all move yourselves into the
Bentley
tower.
just grinds his heels into the soil.
No, I'm giving him a kiss on the forehead. I'm gonna smooch. Caesar, you're so good. You're such a good special boy.
Make sure you save some for pizza toppings later.
Hey, Arp, just as a heads up, I'll probably have to stop in a little bit here.
All right. So you've penetrated the heart of darkness here. You've made your way into the ruins of the tower, and the area is just rife with corruption, but there's a little bit of space for you to get in there thanks to Caesar's sacrifice. And you see, in the middle of the tower, something that Rasheen knows should not be there, a large, pulsating, bloody-looking crystal.
This thing does not belong.
You also notice an old halfling. Oh, he says, looking up as you enter. Hello! I didn't see you there. What are you doing here?
Well, we have come to investigate the corruption surrounding this area.
Oh, yes, capital idea. Good, great, yes. That's definitely why I'm here too, he says.
Yes, that's very good to know. Then you will not mind if we destroy this thing, since it seems to be the source of the corruption going on.
Destroy? You want to destroy that?
Oh, yes, it's quite abominable. It simply has to be disposed of.
Oh, yeah. If you think you can do it, that's sure. Yeah, that would be really good.
I'm glad we are all in agreement that this needs to be destroyed, and there is definitely nothing about it that should be saved or kept around.
Yeah. I'm just gonna, while you're doing that, I'm an old man. I'm just gonna head over. Don't mind me.
Yes, well, I would actually appreciate it if you stayed for a moment. We do have some questions we would like to ask you.
I gotta go. It's...
Yeah, Rasheen is edging towards Lancris, hey, why don't you stop him?
Fosco Buffin, you are a bad liar.
It's the crystal. You said you gotta destroy it. You should definitely do that.
Oh, yes, but there aren't very many hobbits left around these
one.
days. In fact, we've got 3 of them with us. I imagine they'll be quite excited to meet you.
Oh, it's still... You got some around. But great. I've been looking for my people.
What Bentley's going to say. Because Bentley, he's been paying attention this whole time. He totally has. Are you planning some sort of ritual? Because we were told there's a halfling doing a blood ritual. You're probably that halfling. You're definitely that halfling.
No, never. I would never do a blood ritual.
Actually, don't go anywhere, because you're totally a bad news bearer.
I'm just gonna appear in this other door in front of him. Just walk around the outside.
Aguadwin.
How's it going?
Aguadwin. Don't see many of your kind. It's out there.
We only come out when there's small things to grind into a fine paste. Now step back inside. We have a few questions for you.
Sure. But, you said you wanted to destroy that crystal. You should really get on that.
Oh, yes. We also want to ask you some things. We can do 2 things at once. It's quite.
Sure, yeah.
Quite,
all right. I'll just come sit over here on this box.
Slowly, Lancris walks over until he's flanking this guy.
All right. So you've all approached the heart of the darkness here, the source of corruption.
Mm-hmm.
So you all need to choose a stat and damage it.
Okay.
The corruption is so strong here. It's just...
I will damage my courage.
Oh.
It feels real gross around here. I'm getting a little spooky.
It's agitating me, so it damages my wisdom.
And I will damage my blood.
Oh no, my blood hurts.
Yeah. Oh god, I think I got leukemia.
Better than your taint hurting.
Oh man, Caesar's taint hurts.
Well, it's muddling my senses, so I'll damage my sense.
Okay.
Well, perhaps if I strike it with my sword while Bentley casts magic and Landchrist, breathes on it and Asgara does something, we all strike it at once. Perhaps we'll overwhelm it and destroy it.
I'm gonna look closely at the crystal.
Okay.
I think I did that recently, so. It's got a 9.
Okay, so that's 2 questions.
What's up with the crystal here? Like, what is this crystal? Tell me about this crystal.
Okay. How it could hurt you, how it could help you?
Yeah.
All right, so this crystal appears to be a part of the Overlord. That's something that you'd recognize. It seems like it has come from the Overlord's tree. It might be a fruit of the Overlord's corrupted tree out there in the desert. Yeah, and you could probably gain some good powers, if you ate it.
Almost as if it were some kind of devil fruit.
Oh man, can Bentley get the gum pistol? Okay, and the second question, I think I get second questions because I got a 9. What'll happen if we do that thing Rasheen was thinking about, the ultimate friendship strike for justice on it?
If you all strike it at once?
Uh-huh.
Probably it'll blow up.
Okay.
Might not want it to blow up while we're all here.
No. Could give us superpowers, though. How do you eat a crystal?
Ooh, yeah, we could. And there are 4 of us, so it's like we could become some sort of superpowered 4 people that hang out together.
Oh man, somehow.
Power Rangers?
Well, there were 5 of us.
Oh.
Alas.
Actually, there were 6 of us. Oh.
So we tried to save your kingdom.
We'll erect a statue in his honor afterwards and, make good relations with the orcs. But for now...
Well, I share my thoughts on the crystal about it being a cool devil fruit, and that maybe it could be useful if we just put it in our mouths.
I'm going to try to talk sense to Fosco.
Fosco is, while you're looking at this, Fosco is squinting over and he sees Bentley's sword. And his eyes sort of narrow and he says, you there, that sword, how did you get the Overlord's sword?
What?
Lancaster's head slowly swivels towards Bentley.
Yeah, all heads turn towards Bentley.
Well, it's at the archive. I mean, there's a whole bunch of swords there, and in the shuffle of getting away from the crumbling archives, I had to grab the first one I could to sort of use as a focus for my magical. It was just on a big pile of swords.
And how do you, little creature, know what the Overlord's sword looks like?
There's no
Wait,
one there.
where did you go?
What?
Ah, he was just there.
What?
It's definitely not there now.
Huh.
He made a Zoidberg noise on his way out.
I'm gonna look closely at my sword.
Okay.
It's the 2 and the 1, so I think that's
you get one question.
I better make this a good one. What looks what looks suspicious about my sword now that I know things or questions? Yeah.
If you're actually paying attention to the sword, you can sort of hear voices.
That's the first time it's done that.
Yeah, it seems like you can definitely feel the Overlord's touch in that sword now that you really look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, guy.
Hi.
You want to go do some cool evil crimes, Bentley?
All right, so you've had an unwelcome truth revealed to you, Bentley, and now the rest of you are standing here looking at this crystal. Now, do you want to leave this on a cliffhanger?
It is getting kind of late.
It is, yeah. I'd be fine with that.
I should probably have Smug back.
Yeah.
To figure out what to do with it.
Hence, Mac just runs it over with his car.
Discipline.
Yes, this is the final challenge that remains to you to complete this set piece, is what to do about that darn crystal. And we'll find out what that is next time on Fellowship Role-Playing Game. Same Matt time, same Matt channel. Until the next time, all the best. And thank you all for joining me this evening.